Hi, I'm Mike Miller. Thank you for watching The Other Side. It's a show I've created to bring talented people to you so you can find out about their lives and listen to their music. My guest today is an amazing guitarist, singer, and songwriter who is accustomed to working with big bands with horns and keyboard players, and he's here today to do some solo music for us. I'm really glad to have Vince Lujan here today. Thank you.
Hey, Stephen, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
So you've been playing music quite a while around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it seems like.
Yeah, trying to stay busy. Been, I guess, since about 2005, 06, kind of out there playing and gigging pretty regularly.
You went to UNT for a while and studied music? And
I did. I came here and experienced all the wonder that is UNT. I'm wearing my mean green get-up, you know.
Right,
so.
But you had some
I thought I was
going
to disappear behind the green screen in here for a second there.
Yeah.
But no, I did. I came here in 2004. You know, I was in the jazz studies program and learned a lot from the program. I didn't graduate. I got kind of sucked into youth ministry towards the end of my time here at UNT. Yeah, so many great musicians, so many great players have come out of here. You know, it's a legendary school for music. You can't help but be in Denton and not absorb just a lot of the great musicianship, you know, that comes out of here.
And some of the professors have a lot of professional experience, I guess.
Yeah, I got a chance to study with Fred Hamilton a little bit. He recently retired, right? Or is he a professor emeritus now, I think?
I don't know, but I've heard of him so much.
Yeah, Fred Hamilton and a lot of the kind of the original crew at UNT that have now since you know, retired, like Dan Hurley, you know, legendary piano player. So got to, you know, take classes with those guys and learn from them, and just amazing guys and musicians. Yeah.
Dan was teaching the jazz theory, I believe it was.
Yes, he was. Yeah, piano, and he head up the Zebras, you know, the jazz piano forum group and stuff, and he taught theory, you know, jazz theory.
And he had worked with Dr. John quite a bit, I think, in New Orleans.
I think so. I know he's worked with so many people.
Yeah.
I know one of the things he always said, he always wanted to work with James Taylor, which always struck me because I'm a big James Taylor fan.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying that in class. You know, he's like, I've worked with so many people, and, you know, I'd love to work with James Taylor, you know. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah, and he seems to be somebody that really appreciates just all the different kinds of music, you know, out there. So
when I was researching you, I found the Gig Master, and you have a list of cover songs that you guys do, and that's pretty cool, so people can see the material that you do. And so James Taylor, you have some James Taylor songs there? Yes,
yeah, the Gig Masters thing. Yeah, we've got, you know, we try to do a lot of different kinds of music for clients. I do a lot of cover band, you know, work, whether it's, you know, restaurant or weddings and, you know, that kind of stuff, corporate stuff. And you kind of have to learn what the client wants,
what
you know,
want,
to get the job. But I try to do things that I'm happy with, that I feel like, you know, have a message that I can get behind, or that music that I can identify with. And, you know, when I started playing, I was really interested in, you know, 50s, 60s rock and roll. My parents always had the radio going, and it was always tuned to like an oldies station, you know. So we heard a lot of Beatles and Buddy Holly and Richie Valens and you know, that kind of stuff. And Chuck Berry, absolutely, Chuck Berry. I was, you know, like so many guitarists, you know, that get into playing and they hear rock and roll and they hear Chuck Berry, that just makes them, you know, want to play and get going. And same for me.
So he was innovative in his guitar licks and riffs that he used.
Yeah, I've really admire and love Chuck's playing. You know, he recently passed, which is an amazing feat. And he had 90 something, and he had a record that came out too, like posthumously. I think he was about to release a new record, so I was really excited about that last year. And but yeah, his piano player Johnny Johnson. And if you watch the documentary, I think Taylor Hackford has a film out.
Really?
Yeah, that's what is it? Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll, or something like that. It's
I'd
a
like
Chuck
to
Berry.
see that.
It's great, and you know, you see everybody on there. Everybody's talking about Chuck Berry. A lot of, like, you know, there's Eric Clapton and B.B. King, and, you know, a lot of players. You know, Bruce Springsteen, and the guy from the guitarist from the Rolling Stones, Keith Richards, is actually the musical director
for
really?
This.
They put on like a 60th birthday bash, and the film chronicles all of this, and it's great, you know, to see them rehearsing and hear them talking about music and their influences, and
Chuck was really prolific. He wrote a lot of songs that,
absolutely,
that became big hits.
Yeah, well, you know, and when you watch the interview and stuff, you read, he talks about how you know, he would take songs that were already existing and then he would rewrite lyrics to it, because that seemed to be easier to do.
Yeah.
You know, at first, a lot of people, when you start writing, you know, you do that. And he said he just wrote about things that young people cared about. You know, he was kind of older for that generation he was writing for, but he was able to zero in and find this really great crossover thing. And then going back to the influence stuff, his piano player Johnny Johnson, he would play these riffs, da 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 da, you know, which is, we identify as the Chuck Berry riff, you know, but you know, kind of getting it from his piano player, and then also he mentions a couple of early jazz guitarists where he kind of got that riff from, and kind of melded that into his own, you know, kind of thing. And now we think of it as that's a Chuck Berry riff. You play da 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 da, you know.
And the Beach Boys used that, I think.
Oh yeah,
some of their
yeah.
songs,
It was so, you know, catchy. You know, you had to put that in. Everybody started ripping that off and using that. But
I grew up in St. Louis, and Chuck Berry was really popular.
Oh
because
yeah,
he lives up there,
I bet.
He played at a lot of big events. Yeah,
I bet. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I love. So I grew up with that. You know, I feel like I grew up with that music, even though, you know, I'm obviously I'm not as old as. Oh, I hope I don't look as old as that. But
no,
you know, my parents, you know, they had that music
provided
on,
that influence for
and
you.
yes, and I really got into that. And then the '90s came, and I was really more into. You know, everybody was going through this grunge phase. You know, like kind of, you know, the Green Day thing and kind of alternative Nirvana, and nothing wrong with that, but I kind of missed the boat on that. I was kind of getting into, like, you know, B.B. King and Santana and Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton. I was really about those guys. You know, I was kind of the odd guy out, you know, and trying to, you know, my parents weren't musicians, so they didn't really know where to go to look. I took guitar lessons for a little while, studied a little bit of classical guitar. But then I got into, you know, just, trying to learn stuff off the radio, and, you know, found out, you know, turn the dial a little bit, you get the classic rock station, you know, and oh, okay, you're checking out these guys and starting to listen to that, and what is that all about? So I got into that kind of, you know, blues rock kind of, you know, influence music. And
you do some Clapton songs sometimes?
Yes, I really do. I enjoy playing a lot of his music, a lot of his
Stevie
work.
Ray Vaughan as well?
Yeah, I try my best. I give my best shot at it, you know.
What are some of the songs y'all do?
Well, I guess on the Clapton side, you know, Layla's a very popular one. You know, I do a lot from the Unplugged album. Before You Accuse Me, and, you know, some of the, you know, which is, he's studying Robert Johnson and pulling, you know, pulling from that, and so a lot of that finger style kind of picking, blues playing. But, you know, I enjoy music from his entire career. You know, Old Love, Presence of the Lord. You know, back with Blind Faith. You know, I was really into, you know, this kind of his newer stuff too. You know, Tears in Heaven was one of the first tunes that I kind of really studied, wanted to get every last, you know, lick I could of that tune, and, you know, deliver it, you know, and you know, Change the World was kind of a thing that came out, you know, in the '90s with Babyface, and, you know, the E-blues kind of a thing, but it was, you know, just really liked it, you know, liked how it sounded. So. But yeah, I started to learn and try to emulate all these different people who I really admire, you know, and really love, you know.
You write songs as well, though? Write lyrics too?
Yes, I try. You know, I want to be a better lyricist. There's definitely, I feel like I'm always caught between, like, you know, trying to be a good, you know, musician and guitarist and technician versus, you know, and then being a good singer and a good lyricist.
Yeah, so many things.
So many, yes, there's so much stuff. You know, you'll spend your lifetime trying to figure it out and trying to hone those skills. But I do, you know, I've written some material, and I try to keep writing.
Is that an original song?
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's more of a riff tune. It's just a kind of a nonsense tune, really, and just kind of follow. It's kind of like a Santana-esque kind of thing, and. Getting a little technical, but just, you know, this 2/5 riff over and over again. That's very reminiscent of a Santana type of song, and it's a lot of fun to play, and it's, you know, high energy, and it's kind of a mix of Latin, blues, rock, funk thing, you know, and so we have a lot of fun with that. Yeah.
And I enjoyed that Chevy Showcase.
Yes. Yeah.
Video.
Yeah, thank you. We had an opportunity. There's some other great players, some other local guys. You might have heard of Chris Watson, guitarist.
Oh yeah.
I think he was out of Denton originally, and then he moved to Fort Worth, and he was kind enough to recommend us for that program.
Really?
As well as Tejas Brothers. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're getting pretty well known, and kind of Texas roots kind of music. And
really,
Tejas Brothers are great. They're like a mix of blues and rock and like Tejano Conjunto. It's all in English. And I know the guy, David Perez, who is the lead guy, plays accordion and sings. And so the two of them had actually recommended us for that program. And it served as a video bumper on the back side or front side of coming back from commercial to the Jimmy Kimmel Show and the local markets and stuff. So that was a really cool thing. They came out and shot a couple tunes, you know, of us playing, and, you know, did some interviewing, some talking, and it was great.
And you had a full band for that?
Yes,
horns.
We did. Yeah, we got the horns out for that, you know, and the keys, and bass drums, the whole thing. And
you worked with some impressive people with really good backgrounds.
Oh, yes, I'm very lucky to work with good musicians that are good people, you know, just folks that you can have a good hang with, but also really great musicians and technicians in their own right, you know, and that they can't but help you sound better, you know, and so it's a good thing, you know, and
well, they bring a lot of experience to the table.
Absolutely, yeah, and we like to mix all those sounds together, you know, and see what we can come up with, you know.
It's a really good drummer that you use.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, James
He
Montgomery.
sings and plays.
He does. Yeah, he sings harmonies and plays, and really lots of high energy. He drives the band, you know, in a lot of ways. Greg Rochford on bass guitar. He's from Iowa, but he's, you know, plays guitar and bass and a little piano, and you know, they work really well together. We've got to have a good rhythm section, you know, and then a lot of the guys and a lot of the horn players, we meet from UNT, you know, always listening, always watching, you know, seeing who's around that we might be able to grab. So it's always great, you know.
And you guys go to Lubbock sometimes to play? And
yeah, we did that for a while. We haven't been in a while. We were kind of doing the kind of college, you know, bar scene, you know,
really?
Over there. We had a lot of fun.
That's a long ride over there, though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's birthplace of Buddy Holly. I always made a pilgrimage to the museum over there, showed my support, and we would do like a two-nighter, you know, there, and do some stuff on the way to or the way back, and that was always like a good weekend warrior type thing, you know.
Yeah.
Get on the drive and go out there and do it.
I never knew Buddy Holly's music too well. What do you think it is about his music that has made him continue to be checked out?
Well, gosh, that whole that's a whole conversation right there.
Yeah.
But I think
he had a cool singing voice, and
yeah, the glasses. I mean, you know, a nerdy guy could look cool with a guitar and sing his own songs and play. You know, so I think so much of that, you know, the fact that he was, you know, was ordinary, kind of nice kind of guy, you know,
yeah.
He wasn't particularly
not Elvis Presley.
Yeah, not Elvis Presley, and he played his own instrument, you know, and he sang his own songs. He wrote his own material. He produced a lot of it, you know. He was fearless in that, and he was groundbreaking. You know,
and died so early. What, in an airplane crash?
Yes, I mean, and then you know, an Iowa cornfield, you know, along with Richie Valens, who, you know, means a lot to me. You know, I got a chance to play Ritchie Valens in a musical production, which was kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
We were out in Granbury and Galveston, and it was kind of like a bucket list thing to kind of, play one of my, rock and roll heroes. And then this happened, well, it hasn't happened yet per se, but I got a message from this guy his name is John Mueller. And John Mueller is he's like a Buddy Holly tribute artist. Right?
Oh, really?
And he goes out with 2 other guys and, the whole band, and he does like the Winter Dance Party tour. It's a really great show. You should check it out if you get a chance. I've been a couple times, and he does a really great show. Anyway, you go out, and I went out to see the show, and I got a chance to meet him. I was talking with him afterwards, and we got to talking and exchanging some messages, and shared with him some clips of when I got to play, Ritchie Valens.
Oh, uh-huh.
And then he contacted me about a week ago, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to come and play Ritchie? For my other guy that plays Ritchie, can't make it, and so we're working on that, in a couple dates where there might be a possibility I get to go out with this John Mueller, who's doing this really great job of keeping that music alive and paying tribute to all those artists, and and to be a part of that, that's pretty cool,
That
so
is.
that would be neat.
It seems like some bands are so caught up in trying to change music and make music be different, help it evolve, but I think it is important to maintain the history and to to continue to show what the kind of music that has existed the last 30 years.
Yeah, I think and I always say, people say there's nothing new under the sun,
Yeah.
and you just, all you can do is do you play, play what borrow it, give it back. I definitely, I don't put myself in any kind of category like a Wes Montgomery or a Santana or a Clapton or anything like that. But I definitely try to emulate and borrow and learn from that, and how it informs the music that I make. All of that becomes a part of me, and to give it back out, is all I can do, just to do it honestly, and genuinely. That's all I can hope for, so we hope that we do that, with our band and our music,
Well, I hope you continue to have good luck with everything, and
Yeah.
And I appreciate you being here today. And
yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. And I've had such a good time last night listening to your music. You have some really good tracks out there.
Cool. What did you get to hear? What did you?
Well, Cooler, I listened to that a couple of times,
yeah.
and then Selah.
Selah, yeah.
Selah, yeah. And then the song for Manuel.
Yes, song for Manuel. That's a cool story. I don't know if we got time, but I'm going to tell it anyway. I'll sneak it in. There was a songwriting contest here at UNT, and it was back when I was here, and my roommate and I entered this contest, both separately, and I really admire my roommate, great songwriter in his own right, and I just thought, there's no chance, I have a prayer, doing anything, and this guy's so good, and I'm just gonna do my little song, and actually, I won the thing, and I got a spot at the Kerrville Folk Festival. And but the same weekend of the festival was the same weekend of my honeymoon, and I was getting married that weekend. So I thought about how I could try to convince my bride-to-be that we could spend our honeymoon in a tent with hundreds of other people surrounding us, and that didn't go over too well. But yeah, that song is about a friend of mine who had that journey, has that journey, as you hear in the song. And it's a journey that's shared by a lot of different kind of people, and so I felt like it moved me. His story moved me, and I felt like I had to share it.
I really enjoyed it, and it's like how to see your problems and how to move forward from. Yeah,
I think so, and I think too a lot. Giving a voice to the voiceless in a lot of ways too. Being a spokesperson, for. Somebody's struggle or story, and especially for somebody who doesn't, he's not a big mouthpiece himself. He would never brag about or tell about anything. But just to share that kind of quiet determination, and it's important to share those stories. I think and to hear them.
Well, that's great, and I really appreciate you being here. And you guys stay tuned for Vince to play some music here today. And thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Vince Lujan. I'm a singer-songwriter based out of Denton, Texas. And you can find my music on vlpband.com. And I'm going to start off by playing a song I wrote called Selah. It was featured on the Jimmy Kimmel Live Chevy Music Showcase. And it's a little song that we wrote. I wrote about just enjoying life right where you are in the moment that you're in, and wrote this at a Eureka Park in Denton, and so on a really nice day, and it's called Selah. Just a night or two ago, had this funny little dream where the sky was so blue and the grass was the greenest that you've ever seen. Yeah, there were tall trees and the wind was blowing free. The wind blew so cool, yeah, it was the nicest feeling to me. Selah, Selah, la 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 la, Selah, Selah, la la la, ooh, yeah. I know where I belong, yeah. It's not very far from you. I know where I belong, yeah. And there's nothing I can't do 'cause I have you. Oh, yeah. There were people all around, sitting all around. I saw boys and girls and baby. Yeah, the love was everywhere to be found. Everywhere I looked, yeah, it was a happy picture to me, and I couldn't help but wonder, is this where I'm supposed to be? Yeah. Selah, Selah, la 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 la, Selah, Selah, la 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 la, ooh, yeah. I know where I belong. It's not very far from you. I know where I belong. Yes, I do. There ain't nothing I can't do 'cause I have you. Selah. Oh, that dream kept me wondering just what did it mean. Now I know, yes I know, yes I know, yeah. I know, I know, I know, yeah. I know where I belong. It's not very far from you. I know where I belong, yes I do. There ain't nothing I can't do because I have you. I know where I belong. I know where I belong, yeah. I belong with you. I belong to you. I belong with you, my love. Ooh. Yeah, this next song I'm going to do for you guys is this is a song that features a headgear. This is a little harmonica brace, and I wrote this song for my then at the time she was my girlfriend. Now she's my wife, and anyway, we had known each other for a few months, and then her family was going to Europe for the summer and for a vacation. And I thought, since I just met her, I'm going to be invited. I'll go right there, go right along. And of course I wasn't, and so instead I stayed home and pined after her, and I wrote this song. It still works. All right. Across the ocean sea we'll go, near the sunset of the sand. Can't use a compass today, no, no, no. Gonna use the stars to guide our way. Then we'll know which way to go, leaving the world behind us, hoping that they won't find us. We're leaving the world behind us someday. We'll paint a picture with our fingers, yeah, yeah, yeah. In the softness of the sand, whoa, whoa. We hear the waves come crashing down. Let it take us for where we're bound. Oh, forget about the time and know you're mine. Leaving the world behind us, hoping no one will find us. Leaving the world behind us someday.
tonight. Late winter snow, early spring rain, leaves fall to ground as the seasons change. Nothing gold can stay, they say. It's like a cool ice cream on a hot summer day. Just 5 to 10, you will never, 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 never stay. The years melt away. Stop for 1 minute, yeah, yeah. It's not lost, it's a random scheme. You're gonna find that it's about time, because all you really need to know, all you really need to know, oh. Lost and we wander, just travelers on the road, trying to find a way back home. On and off, forever searching for something real enough to have to keep to hold, for something pure as gold. Stop for 1 minute, yeah. Sound lost, it's a random scheme. You're gonna find that it's about time, because all you really need to know is that love won't go away if you let it stay. Talking about love, oh, won't go away if you let it stay, yeah, stay. Birth of our, to the sunset of our death. There's only one way to go. We are beholden to the dust, which is the pain that shapes us, makes us, and claims us. The dust claims us all. Stop for 1 minute, yeah. It's not lost, it's a random scheme, no, no. You're gonna find it's about time, because all you really, really need to know, you got to stop for 1 minute, yeah, yeah. It's not lost, it's a random scheme, oh. You're gonna find that it's about time, because all you really, really need to know is love, oh, won't go away if you let it stay. Talk about love, oh, won't go away. Though we all fade away, love late winter snow, early spring rain, leaves fall to ground as the seasons change. Nothing gold can stay, they say. This last song I'm going to do for you guys is a song that was mentioned earlier in the interview, and it's called Song from Unwell. It's a song that won me a slot at the Kerrville Folk Festival, but it's also the song that I guess kept my marriage together if you were hearing the story from earlier. So this is a song from Unwell. Manuel, all the stories that you tell, I love to hear you say. How you left your home and all you've known, and that girl that got away. How you wished you could have stayed. Manuel, the many miles, many trials you have faced, but still you came on. Across the desert, in the sand, wanting water in your hand, you told me you had wanted to die. Manuel, the stars were your disguise. They seem to have left their imprint in your eyes. No one will know all that you have done. Yeah, so I wrote you this song, the song for Manuel. Through all the hell, when you sat in your tiny little cell, yet you still wished no one any wrong. Almost stole your soul every time you'd go to try and seek a better life. But why so much strife? Manuel, the stars were your disguise. They seem to have left their imprint in your eyes. No one will know all that you have done. Yeah, so I wrote you this song, song for Manuel. Mexico seems so long ago, San Luis Potosí. You asked me how come I've had to come so far, just not to be free. Says why can't they see? To have left their imprint in your eyes. No one will know all that you have done. Yeah, so I wrote you this song, 'cause I want the world to sing a song for Manuel. your dreams. And they say, do what you want, and money will come.